We are live on YouTube, on all the social media. Please watch us on this subject. We are talking this afternoon about Shashi Tharoor's comments. The Congress MP from Thiruvananthapuram in Kerala said yesterday to me in an interview actually that he was told that a friend of his was told by an unnamed RSS source that Prime Minister Narendra Modi was like a scorpion sitting on a shivling. Now that comment subsequently first made to me in an interview on Saturday and then subsequently made at the Bangalore Literature Festival has gone viral. There have been a lot of comments about it, both for and against. This comment that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, according to an unnamed RSS source, is like a scorpion sitting on a shivling. And what Shashi Tharoor went on to say was that, quoting this unnamed RSS source in his book, The Paradoxical Prime Minister, Shashi Tharoor said that, according to this unnamed RSS source, that you cannot remove that scorpion from the shivling because if you do, you're bound to get stung. And the only way you can do it is by throwing a chappal. Now that word, the use of the word chappal on the shivling, on the manifestation of Lord Shiva has created a huge uproar. The BJP Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad went on air last evening, on Sunday evening, to say that this was uncalled for, that the Congress MP was once again insulting the gods and goddesses of Hinduism. And he asked Rahul Gandhi whether he subscribed to what Shashi Tharoor had said. So this has become a political story, Shashi Tharoor's comment to ThePrint in an interview on Saturday, as well as to the Bangalore Literature Festival subsequently, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi, quoting an unnamed RSS source to another journalist that Shashi quotes, was like a scorpion on a shivling. And this extraordinary image has created a huge political uproar. So we'll be taking your questions. Please send in your questions to ThePrint. My first question here is, let me just read that. Read that to you. Okay, so Kunal has asked the first question: why do Congress leaders have the habit of making controversial statements before important elections that are used as political fodder by the BJP? Doesn't it hurt the Congress's prospects? Kunal, that's a really good question, and I would actually kind of agree with you, because if you remember last year, just before the Gujarat polls, in fact during the campaign, then Congress leader Manishankar Iyer had also said about Narendra Modi that वो एक नीच किस्म के आसमान के आदमी हैं. और ये जो नीच किस्म के आदमी वाली बात जो मनीशंकर अय्यर ने उस वक्त कही थी, that played out really badly in the Congress, in the political campaign for the Gujarat elections, and Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the BJP leadership made full use of those comments by Manishankar Iyer. Subsequently, Manishankar Iyer was suspended by the Congress party. He has only recently been reinstated. But as we know that the Congress lost those elections, of course we can argue whether it was because of that comment or not, probably not, but it helped in the defeat when it was such a closely fought election, the BJP being in power in Gujarat for so many years. Again, Shashi Tharoor, we can argue, once again, and Kunal, I would agree with that, is that Shashi has once again made a potentially inflammable political remark. The Prime Minister, who is in Japan, has not responded yet, but the Law Minister, Ravi Shankar Prasad, has gone to town. And if you juxtapose what Shashi has said with what Rahul Gandhi has done this morning in Indore, he landed in Indore on a yatra, on a political campaign in Madhya Pradesh, and from Indore he goes to Ujjain, where he goes to one of Hinduism's holiest sites. It's the Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain, and Rahul wearing a chola, a dhoti, prayed in the Mahakaleshwar temple at the Shiv temple. It's actually one of the 12 lingas of Shiv that are scattered all over the country, and the Ujjain Mahakaleshwar temple is one of those. It's very sacred and very holy site for Hindus. So Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad asking the question. On the one hand, you have Rahul Gandhi in his manifestation of a Shiv Bhakt. We know that Rahul went to Mount Kailash a few months ago, and he traveled all the way. There are hundreds of pilgrims of Indians who do make that very, very arduous journey, and Rahul was there. He sort of proclaiming himself as a Shiv Bhakt. And on the other hand, says Ravi Shankar Prasad, you have Shashi Tharoor. He calls him a chotaiya Congresi, and he says, I don't even deign to talk to people like that. But my question is to Rahul Gandhi. On the one hand, you proclaim yourself a Shiv Bhakt, and on the other hand, you have men like Shashi Tharoor insulting the gods and goddesses of Hinduism. Now, I think your point, Kunal, that why is it the Congress has this tendency of putting foot into its mouth? Now, I'm not sure that Shashi Tharoor realized that this could have been a potentially inflammable remark. But he should have, right? I think that's the point, is that in a situation like this where it's where the political season is open, we have five state elections, including Telangana, coming up in a few weeks from now, and 6 months, of course, the biggest election of all time, the 2019 general election, where Prime Minister Narendra Modi will stake his claim to power again. In a situation like this, in a potentially explosive situation, why would the Congress party put its foot into its mouth? Manishankar Iyer did it last year in Gujarat. Do you believe that Shashi Tharoor could do this? Now, we'll have to wait and see for the PM to come back from Japan and to see whether he takes this up and whether he sort of, whether this explodes, whether the BJP manufactures this into a much, much bigger comment than what probably Shashi Tharoor intended it to be. So yes, I agree with you, Kunal, that the Congress has to be very, very careful. जैसे हिंदी में कहते हैं कि फूक कि उस कांग्रेस पार्टी को कदम रखने की ज़रूरत होगी, और कांग्रेस पार्टी का हर नेता जो है उसको बहुत ध्यान से जो भी अब आने वाले समय में जो चुनाव का जो समय जो बहुत ही जो the political weather is sort of hotting up. So every Congress leader will have to be very, very careful on what they say. Please send in your questions. We're looking forward to this. I have several more questions from Reena. Why does it seem that the Congress is in disarray and doesn't seem to know what it is doing in the run-up to 2019? Now, Reena, that's a huge statement from you, and of course, as a voter, if you're over 18, I'm sure you will be voting. We don't know yet whether what's going to happen. Of course, all of us here in the newsroom, in the print, are watching very, very closely on a daily basis, on an hourly basis, minute by minute, what's happening. We know that this morning, as I just said, Rahul Gandhi was he landed in Indore, then went to Ujjain, and for half an hour, he prayed. And if you look at the photographs, he seems very devout, praying with his eyes closed, with the tilak smeared across, the vibhuti and the red tilak smeared across his forehead, wearing the dhoti that you wear when males go into into a holy site like this. Now, so the question whether the Congress is in disarray, we'll find out, and I don't think there's much time left. The 5 elections are coming up to the 5 states, including to big states like Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, smaller states, of course, like Mizoram as well. So we will know in a few weeks whether the Congress party is in disarray or whether it's been able to hold or recover some of the ground. We know that the Congress party is, if you look at the map of India, Reena, it's a saffron map. The Congress party is in very small pockets. Punjab is the big one. Karnataka is the other one, but again, Karnataka is they're in a coalition. But having said that, they're there, and then you have a couple of other smaller states. So these 5 state elections coming up, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Mizoram, Telangana, we know that these are going to be very, very closely fought. and of course then the mother of all elections in 2019. So we'll see, Reena, whether what happens. Now here's another question from Bhumish. Narendra Modi is a polarizing figure and he dominates conversations in almost every nook and corner of the country. Why can't the Indian National Congress instead focus the fine-tuning of its own messaging, of its own strategy? I think, Bhumish, you've hit the nail on the head, because you're absolutely right. What Narendra Modi has been doing, I think, and I think in 2014 when he won India with a huge landslide, 271 seats, 280 seats, and then they got another 2 seats, so 282, 71 seats out of 18, Uttar Pradesh, absolutely a magnificent victory if ever there was one. What he did was that he made it into a presidential contest. It was almost like he's telling the voters of India, vote for me. Vote for the BJP, but I am the leader of the BJP. It was very much this me, myself, and I kind of campaign. So he was this very, very centralized figure. And that's how so once he becomes Prime Minister, that message to the people of India is that this is me. You have to come to me and believe in me. I will deliver India to you. I will do Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas. I will reshape the economy, the politics, the social the issues that have dogged us for several decades, at least since independence. And every leader in the BJP has allowed him to do it. If you look at the cabinet, if you look at the main people, whether it's Rajnath Singh, the Home Minister, Sushma Swaraj, the External Affairs Minister, Arun Jaitley, the Finance Minister, these top men and women in the cabinet have allowed Narendra Modi. So in a sense, while he is the first among equals, he's sort of head and shoulders towers above everybody else in the BJP. And if your question is, Bhumesh, why is it that the Congress isn't doing the same thing? I think, in a sense, the Congress has absolutely the reverse. It's absolutely the opposite kind of strategy. They know that Rahul Gandhi is not a charismatic man like Narendra Modi. Narendra Modi I think his charisma the kind of charisma Modi has, I think you could swim in it. But Rahul, on the other hand, is a much more low-key kind of a person. Although he has been trying his best, he's been traveling across these states which are going to the polls. I think the Congress strategy is to create coalitions, to create alliances, to not allow the 2019 election to become a presidential one, which Narendra Modi wants. So they want to turn it away from a presidential election and make it an election where every state there is a leader. So you have to fight every state. In West Bengal, you fight Mamata Banerjee. In UP, you will fight, hopefully, whatever coalition comes, whether it's between the Samajwadi Party and others. I mean, there's a lot of talk of the Samajwadi Party and the Bahujan Samaj Party, led by Mayawati, led by Behenji, and coming together. So it's the anti-Modi pole. And that's the Congress strategy. Now, you can argue that if it's an anti-Modi poll, your politics is being shaped by Prime Minister Modi, and you would be absolutely right. So whether the Congress should change its strategy, make it more presidential, I'm not sure that they're going to be willing to do that, because they feel that if they do that, then there's this big danger of the Congress party becoming a B team of the BJP. So they want to create that brand distinction. Modi, a very, very presidential, wants to accumulate power, a very centralizing figure. The Congress party, much more parliamentary, much more democratic, wants to share power, wants to share space with all the other regional satraps across the country. So I think that's what that strategy is going to be. Dinesh has another question. Isn't it unfair that the media capitalizes on the Congress gaffes, even though BJP leaders make much worse comments? I think in my own private capacity as a journalist, although you are attacking the media in some sense, I would actually agree with you in some ways, because we tend to focus on the gaffes, especially about Rahul. You know, if you remember, in the 2014 election, in the run-up to that election, he was sort of called Pappu in a very pejorative and a very ridiculing sort of a way. But I think over the last couple of years, as things are changing inside India, the demonetization had a huge impact. People still haven't recovered, although the economy, it is being said by the finance ministry that there are green shoots. It is a fragile sort of a recovery, but it's not yet there. And if you travel outside Delhi, if you travel outside the metropolises, people are still hurting quite badly as a result of that one big move for, which was the demonetization in November 2016. So here you have the... So I think as things change politically, I think the focus of the media is also shifting. Earlier you had much more critical comments about, especially about Rahul. For some reason, I think we in the media like to take pot shots at Rahul Gandhi. Perhaps it's, you know, it's the fact that maybe his Hindi isn't as good as Narendra Modi. But so in a sense, he becomes sort of political fodder for journalists. But if you've noticed, Dinesh, and if you follow the news, which I'm sure you do if you follow television and the newspapers, as well as the regional media, I think there is a little bit of a shift in the wind. And as journalists, we must follow that. That would be our duty to do. So we follow the person in power, in this case Narendra Modi. You see what he's doing on a daily basis and on a regular basis and on an hourly basis. And of course, you follow not just Rahul, but also the other satraps. And I think that's where the story will lie, is that just not Rahul, but also the other satraps, whether it's in Punjab, you have Amrinder Singh, or you have the Akali Dal in Maharashtra, the BJP leader, Devendra Fadnavis, and the coalition, the anti-BJP coalition. So similarly, I think, the story in a sense is much more complex than the BJP would like to make it out to be. I think they want a very black and white story, you know. Either you're with Narendra Modi or you're not. On the other hand, the opposition would like it to be a much more complex story where you're looking at every state. And I think if we do that, we'll need to focus and work much harder at explaining the story to you. So I'm just wondering if there are any more questions coming in. Otherwise, we'll call it a day. This session this afternoon was about, well, we started with Shashi Tharoor, the peg being that Shashi Tharoor, in an interview with me, with ThePrint, said, quoting an unnamed RSS source, that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is like a scorpion sitting on a shivling. Now that extraordinary image, and Shashi Tharoor repeated that comment at the Bangalore Literature Festival also, and that extraordinary image has created a political furor, with Law Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad being very critical about it and calling upon Rahul Gandhi, the Congress leader, to answer whether there is a certain hypocrisy about Rahul as well as about Shashi. Is that on the one hand you have the Shiv Bhakt, that Rahul sort of is sort of a self-acknowledged Shiv Bhakt, and on the other hand you have people like Shashi saying what he is. Now the question is whether we are going to mix religion with politics. But hey, we've already done that, because just 2 or 3 months ago in July, if I remember, none other than Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the current Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, started his political yatra from the same Mahakaleshwar temple in Ujjain, where Rahul was today. And none other than the BJP President Amit Shah accompanied Shivraj Singh Chauhan. So I think if we talk about separating religion from politics, we're living in another world, and it's a long distance from Jawaharlal Nehru's India. But that's what it is: the amalgam of religion with politics. And the question: should Congress leaders like Shashi Tharoor and Manishankar Iyer hold their tongue, perhaps learn to speak in a much more potentially calmer ways? We'll have to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching. This is Jyoti Malhotra from ThePrint.